Hello everyone, this is Harpratik signing. Welcome back to my channel. This week has been very important for the real estate. Two major things happens in real estate in this week. The first major thing happened is the lawsuit settlement by National Association of Realtors, and the second one was the Fed's meeting where they decided to keep the interest rates steady and decided not to lower them at this point. In this video, we will discuss both of these points and we'll try to understand what's going on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room first, the NAR lawsuit settlement, which has completely shaken the real estate industry. According to these multiple lawsuits, there have been allegations on NAR that they have been keeping the real estate commissions artificially high. So if you have sold or purchased a home recently or anytime in past few years, you must have known the 6% standard commission rate. So the way how market works was the seller had to pay around 5 to 6% commission to the seller agent, and then seller agent used to split a part of his commission with the buyer agent. Basically, seller has been responsible for the both side of the commission. So there have been allegations that because of this practice, the home prices has been increasing a lot, and there has been no transparency in these commissions, and therefore it has been become affordability issues for the consumers. If this gonna make the affordability better or not, that we will discuss in the video later on. But first, let's discuss what exactly was happening. So as we discussed how the commissions have been working so far, but as per these lawsuits, it's been said that the commissions have been artificially inflated, that it's not required to pay realtors this much money to buy or sell their homes. 5 to 6% commission standardized has been made artificially by the NAR, but it wasn't supposed to be this way, but NAR has somehow made it. And now, being in the business and has been on the both sides where I have represented buyers and sellers, I can let you know what I think about this lawsuit. So did real estate agents deserve 6% commission? The answer is yes and no. It completely depends on what kind of property are you getting into. Few property takes really a lot of effort to sell, where listing agent spends a lot of time, money and energy in selling this property. But if we talk about few years ago, like couple of years ago, when there were crazy multiple offers and every property was getting like 30-40 offers and it was a piece of cake to sell it, at that time it didn't really make sense to get a 6% commission. And the crazy part is the commissions have always been negotiable. They were never any standard like it's gonna be 5 or 6%. That was a market average, but if sellers wanted, they could have negotiated that commission. And the second thing is, seller agents were never keeping the 6% in their pockets, so they usually share half of their commission with the buyer's agent. And it has been going through a long time. So when they were saying the agents were keeping 6%, that is not completely accurate, because you are only keeping 3% in your pocket and then sharing the rest with the other agents or whatever the split has been. But now, do they even deserve 3%? It strongly depends on what the buyers or the seller agents have been doing to sell your property or find buyer a home. And the second major change we are expecting after this lawsuit come into effect is the buyer agents won't be getting paid by the sellers anymore. That has been in the news everywhere, that in coming future the buyers might have to negotiate their commission in the offers like they negotiate other terms, or they have to ask this money from the buyer. This actually is a scary thing for the buyer's agent. So if you think about it, there are a lot of agents who are solely dependent on the buyer's agent and have been working with buyers for their bread and butter. And now if they are not getting their commission from the seller side, it will be a little bit harder for the buyer agents to negotiate their commission from the buyers who are already paying down payments or already taking care of closing costs. And on top of that, this extra expense will be put on their shoulders, which I think will make a little difference in the market. I have also heard rumors where people saying that there will not be any buyer agents anymore. I strongly feel like it's not gonna be possible. The reason being is the listing agent has his duties towards the seller and to sell the house in best of interest of his seller. So even if you want to work directly with the seller agent, you have to keep this in mind, that he is not on your side, he is on the seller side. So he won't negotiate anything on behalf of you. At first, it's gonna put his fiduciary duties into a risk, And the second, he's not really getting paid to do that. And why would someone spend double amount of time and energy into something for which he won't even get paid for? And the second thing is about the clients, like what type of the clients are out there. There are always a two type of clients. One, who are very educated, who know what they are doing, who are already on top of the list, and they have been checking it on Zillow or Redfin, and they knew what's happening in their market, and they knew how the market is moving, they knew the comps. Those are the ones who have also been saying that the realtors don't really do anything. They just go there and open the doors and put out offers and make money. For those clients, they might still be able to work directly with the listing agent or even hire an attorney to write a contract, because they're already educated and they know what they are doing. But there is a second type of buyer population out there as well, the one who don't really know a lot about real estate, who don't really know about the contracts, market, how the comps have been moving, how the houses have been selling. They could have been a lot busier in their daily jobs that they don't really have a time to see all these things, or they're just not interested enough to do so. But house is everyone's need, so they have to buy a house sooner or later. So once they're buying a house, they don't really know what they are jumping into. So for those kind of clients, I think there will always be a need of a buyer's agent. So for even the educated population who are already aware of real estate and everything, I seriously feel like if the things went smooth and they end up closing it smoothly, they will think that they haven't really needed any realtor. But if the things started getting south, which is very normal to happen in everyday real estate market. I recently closed a deal where deal was supposed to close in the beginning of March, but we have just closed it yesterday. Sometimes a lot of things happen which are not in our control or in client's control. But if that happens, then you seriously need someone on your side who can negotiate with that person from his experience. You don't want to lose the 3% or 2% deposit you have put in escrow just because no one is taking your back. So I'm pretty sure even when the client's gonna start going without a buyer's agent and a few things like this happen, the need to hire a buyer agent will emerge right away. So when we talk about the future of buyer agency, I feel like the realtors really have to provide a value. If you're providing a value to your clients and not just opening the doors as it has been all over the social media and everywhere that realtors just open a door, but if you're really providing a value to your clients, you're really negotiating for them, you're really educating them, I feel like the buyers won't even mind paying you if they know they are getting some value from you. My realtor friends, the only thing I have to say is instead of getting worried or scared, just try to improve yourself. Try to see how you can add more value into your client's life, how you can negotiate their deal better, how you can work for their terms and help them getting the best terms what they can get. Because if you're providing all that value to the clients, they seriously won't mind paying you money for that. This was all about the seller's agents and the buyer agents and how the real estate market's gonna change. And now let's talk about the benefits to the consumers. I have been hearing a lot that it's gonna decrease the home prices. I seriously feel like it's not going to happen. The reason being, it's not a big amount anyways, right? If you're selling your house at 5%, 500,000 house, you're paying $25,000 in commission, and now you are not paying the buyers and you're saving maybe $12,000 on the commission. That $12,000 is not going to make a big difference on the house prices, right? But the second thing is, why would seller reduce the price if they is saving that? Instead of reducing that price, he will like to keep that money in his pocket. That's any normal person will do. I will do that myself. If I'm saving $15,000 or $12,000 by not paying the buyer agent, I'm not going to give it back to the buyer. I will just keep it in the pocket. If the market is good and offers are coming, why would I share that with the buyers, right? That's very common. So I don't think so it's gonna make any huge difference on the pricing like it has been all over the media, because first, it's not a big amount, and the second, I'm pretty sure the seller would like to keep that money in his pocket instead of wanting it to share it with the buyers, unless his house is not selling and he has to do it, he has to attract the buyers. That's a different story. So now let's conclude how the future of the real estate is gonna look like. I feel like it's going to add another trouble to buyers' plate, as they are already suffering from higher interest rate, less inventory, and now if they have to pay their buyer's agent, it's gonna be an extra expense on their plate and will also make affordability difficult for them. And for the agents, I seriously feel like there are few cities, like for example Bay Area, it's been very common there for the agents to give a part of their commission as a credit to the buyers. It has been a really common practice in Bay Area, and I have heard a lot of examples. I feel like all those agents who have been working with a business model where they are only getting clients because they are sharing a part of their commission, for them it's going to be a big trouble. How you are going to make clients understand that they have to pay you when you are just used to get their business by paying them? All those agents might gonna suffer in coming future. But the other thing I'm very hopeful about is all the serious full-time agents who are here to be for a long time and who are not just doing it part-time. They're still gonna survive. Not only survive, they're gonna thrive. The reason being, there is still going to be a lot of opportunities. There's still going to be a lot of business. The only thing is you should provide some value to your clients, and if you are doing that and your clients trust you, they are going to come to you anyways. And another thing, sellers might just not going to stop paying the buyer agents, right? It's just it won't be listed on the MLS anymore, but there are high chances they will still pay something to the buyer agents, thinking how to attract those buyer agents and buyers to their property. Because if they completely stop doing it, it's going to be a big competition with the new builders, because new builders, I'm pretty sure they will still keep on paying the buyer's agent, and all the buyer agents will be taking their clients to the new construction homes. So if you have to compete in the market like that, you have to give your buyer agent something, even though it won't be listed on MLS anymore. But I don't think so it's completely going to end anytime soon. This was the first important update which I wanted to share with you. Now let's share the second update, which is about the Fed's meeting which recently happened. If you remembered, in the last meeting last year, the Fed said that they will do a 3 rate cuts next year, and many people were expecting the first rate cut to happen in this meeting, which has happened in this week. There were the two reasons. The first is it's election year, and it's historically known that in election years the interest rates normally come down. Second thing was that inflation has also came down marginally if you compare it to a couple of years ago, and now it's under 3%. There were high chances and high expectations that interest rates were supposed to be cut down in the last Fed's meeting. But unfortunately, the Feds still don't feel comfortable cutting the interest rates. They want to keep them steady at 5.25% to 5.5%. They think that though the inflation has been reducing, but it hasn't still at their target number, which is 2%. So they will wait till the inflation comes to 2% and then start cutting the interest rates. So as for Feds, they are still feeling comfortable that there are gonna be a rate cuts coming up in this year, but they don't want to do it at this point because they don't want to do it too soon so the inflation reignite. But at the same time, they don't want to do it too late either, to avoid pushing the economy into the recession. The high interest rates have been a big problem for the home buyers because the mortgage interest rates are really high. They're around 7% as of today. And at the same time, the high interest rate has pushed the interest rates to the 30 years high, which has been making a common person life very hard, because now the consumers have to pay really high interest rates on their credit cards, and that has been making affordability about everything very hard. The small businesses who normally depended on the credit lines or the credit cards to operate, they have been suffering a lot too. Now their cash flows have really decreased because a lot is just going in the interest rate. At the same time, the people who have bought houses in the last 2 years, they are also suffering a lot because their mortgage payments are so high that they are not really saving anything or have anything left over to do the stuff which they used to do. So the life for the common person has become really tough because of these high interest rates. But there is still a hope. If Feds end up decreasing the interest rates like they said by end of this year, like the 3 cuts, hopefully we will see a 3 cuts of 0.25%, so which means that a 0.75% interest rates will come down, which is not a big number, but will still help the credit card payments and the mortgage payments marginally, and will give a little bit room of breathing to the consumers. So this is all about the 2 big updates happened in this week, and thank you so much for watching this video till the end. I hope this will help you to understand what's going on out there a little better. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your loved ones and your family, and I will see you in the similar video next week. Thank you so much. Bye bye.